Hey everybody, it's Stelio's 300 Cowboys. I'm trying to get some stuff together here. Make me a stew real quick. And you probably can't see me because the sun, the light's all in the face, but I'm gonna record this real quick. Get me a couple of good items here. Leave it all in there. And got me a red onion. Bam. Peel that out real quick. The outside off, so I can dice it up. Work on that video real quick. Then everybody's up in the air. Not just up a little bit. ZEKE Elliott not showing up for camp. We haven't got any recent updates yet. Let's check it out and see if he plans on showing up. He plans on showing up, at least, but that's being the least likely. That's a possibility of him doing that. I can understand why he would do it. Emmett Smith did it back in the day. He held out those 2 games till he got his contract. But the thing with that is he more or less got to the Super Bowl even when he did hold out. But he did spend some time with the team, and at least he played. The few years he did, at least 4 years that I can recall, basically he was on their run for their second Super Bowl, and he did that. And Emmett did that holdout, but at least he proved that he can hold out and get his money and still show up to perform. And he didn't miss it. He didn't miss any games that I can recall because of off the field issues. So that seems to be that's the only thing that puts me against Zeke doing his holdout, basically. Now, but I would like to see him get his money. Well, 2 full years ain't gonna get it when he had when he's been there 3 years, and now he's working on his 3rd year. Well, actually, he's working on his 4th year right now. He only has a body of work less than 3 years. So I still don't understand his reasoning for wanting to hold out that long. I understand Dak's going to get his money. Well, Dak was been there the whole time. I can see his stance as far as with Amari Cooper, but yep, he's making a massive improvement when you're when your receiving core is really not that good, and you're going by that receiver by committee jazz. Well, we've seen it didn't pay out too good, so Jerry had to spend that 1st round pick. Shoot it to the Raiders. Get Amari Cooper. Which we know in the long run it paid off. In the long run it paid off. Zeke, on the other hand, he suffered a suspension He had a full year. That's his rookie year. First full year, rookie year. Then he served games of suspension. He played maybe about 4 games, I think. So he couldn't fight it out anymore in court, so he had to take the suspension. And then you see how the team fared for the 2017 season, because he wasn't there. So now he's back. He's back. He does a full season. Did he have much of an impact? No, not really, because the team is losing games and they're sporadic on their wins. Plus, not taking any snaps during the preseason, and then playing a preseason game that kind of hurt him also. So really not too effectual. But I can understand how he feels about his impact towards the team. And his impact with the team, and you know the team's basically built around him by the offense that he has in front of him, to open them gaps and spring those gaps so he can get through there, so he can make the most out of his skills. But, as I say, you can only do so much. So far, we'll see what we see. So far, you see I have some of my stuff diced up. I got my potatoes, red onions, and I've added cloves of garlic. That's all going to get all combined inside the stew. So I'm looking even more forward to checking out some of the sights and sounds of the training camp. I'm gonna check out some more, and maybe I'll have some more input for you concerning that. But for the time being, I'm gonna work on my stew here. Got a small pork roast in the freezer here. I'm working on that. Right now I got carrots. I'm getting my carrots and so far, so on and so forth, all that stuff in there. And I get this flip going around. Well, but you can basically see what I got here. It's going to be carrots and the potatoes. Carrots, potatoes. You got the red onion. I really don't like the white onions or the green onions, so I'll use red onions. And then I got some garlic chopped up in there. So all this stuff is set for tomorrow. I have some celery here. I need to get me a couple of stalks of celery in this. You get me a couple of these stalks of celery in here. And I think this one and this one ought to do. Put the rest of this back in here. I might want some celery sticks and peanut butter later on. Yeah. But, see, I'm trying to get this stew done. I'm trying to get my cord out of the sink because I don't want it getting wet. I don't want it getting wet here. Thoroughly washed, get that stuff washed. But thoroughly wash this stuff and get in the water, wash it. So make sure it's nice and clean. So I can get the stuff prepped up. They usually don't like to use this end of it. So I'll basically be cutting this end off. And probably chew on this later on or something. And the same here. Cut that off. Use that for something later. And you got these ends here. Usually get those ends off of there. Try to use the best. Get these bags out of the way. But I'm basically trying to get all this prepped up for tomorrow, because I'm going to start it tomorrow before I go to work. And get this all ready and prepped. Yeah. I was going to start this earlier today, but I figured I'd just wait till the night to do it, and then that way I can get because I would have been in a rush actually doing it, getting it together. But, so yeah, I'm still kind of skeptical. I'm hoping that he'll end this little holdout and get out there and get to work. Get up there and get to work and get to playing and get to practicing. I hope to do some preseason work also. Preseason, some training camp working, because you know, just think you can start off fresh and right off the bat, just going right in playing a game in the regular season. Well, we seen that didn't play out too well with starters, basically. So, all right. Go now. We're getting back into it. And this is celery. How I got it chopped up. See, celery's nice and chopped up. Now get that combined in with the rest of this, the carrots and everything. And now it's prepped for tomorrow. Basically prepped for tomorrow. I'm gonna give it a final rinsing in the sink. This is a final rinse in the sink. Get this going. Little small pieces that come out of there, as far as the garlic is concerned, comes out. You see how I'm getting it washed up here real good. Let it sit there and let the water drain a little bit. Let the water drain on it for a little bit, and then next we'll get to the best part of it. Pork roast. I made sure I found one that was that had enough meat. That had enough meat on it, and was like less fat. Try to keep it from consuming as much fat as I possibly can. So I try to get it as lean as I possibly could. I'll get it started out tomorrow, and what I'm gonna do with that was, well, tomorrow I'll prep the water. Well, I'll prep the crock pot with 2 cups of water. I use a cup. I use my measuring cup right here. And start 2 cups of water, and then I'll add in my spices. And I'll use this roasted herb and garlic. I'll use that. Just a little bit of garlic salt, just a small bit, small amount. Pepper, I have ground pepper here, and grind that up. And then the final ingredient, well, I'm not going to show you what that is. Well, hell with it. I'll show you what it is. This is to give it a little shot, the Little Caesars Zap Pack spice for the blended spices that they have for pizza, so you can sprinkle it on the pizza. So you can sprinkle this on your pizza and eat it. So those are going to be the main 3 that I use, at least. So them is my ingredients right there. I'm going to use, well, 4. We'll include the pepper too. So we see all 4 of those. All 4 of those. These are the spices that I'm going to be adding. The roasted herb and garlic. The little Caesar Zap Pack special spice. The special spices and herbs and spices. The garlic salt. And last but not least, pepper. I'll put the pepper in. I'll put the pepper in there, just add a little bit of spice to it. And then one last ingredient that probably people really don't think about putting in a stew, especially as a pot roast, some jalapeno peppers. I have these are solid peppers here. I have sliced ones up there, but I'm not going to use the solid. I'm not going to use the whole jalapeno pepper. I'm just going to use the sliced one that I have up here, basically. So I got sliced, same brand, the La Costeña. Those, I love these daggum things, especially the whole ones when I've been eating like a sandwich or something, or maybe if I fry up some eggs and bacon real quick, and then I'll get some of that and cut it up and put it in the eggs. So far that's what we got right there. 1 potato is going to be enough because it's just me eating it. So 1 potato is going to be enough. And you got the celery and the carrot. 1 potato, celery, carrots, and the garlic. And the garlic clove. So I could eliminate putting garlic salt on it, but I have the cloves in it just in case, just maybe touch it up a little bit. But so far so good. That's what we have. So tomorrow I'll do another recording. I'll have the other stuff prepped up, and I'll put everything in a pot all at once. So okay. So until then, Stelios 300 Cowboys. I'm signing out. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I try to put as much stuff as I possibly can on here when I can, if I can. It's usually I'm usually checking everybody else's sites out, Vosh and Law Nation and E2 Blue. I'm usually checking those guys out. Sometimes and occasionally I'll check in on South Heaven, see what he's up to, see what's going on in his site. But for the most part, I got most of this stuff set up, so I'll start working on the rest of it tomorrow, and I'll prep the crock pot, prep the crock pot with my spices, with all my spices that I've decided to use. All these that I've decided to use, and I usually cook stuff to taste for me, not for anybody, not for anybody else. Some people might not like the kind of spices I put in here, but I do make sure I don't put salt in it. I don't need to put salt in it because it's going to be salt. That garlic salt has enough of it in it. So, but tomorrow I'll put out another video when I'm getting all this stuff set up. So for now, deuces.